So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a underrated horror movie that I feel like should get a lot more attention out there. I mean, maybe it does and I'm wrong, and a lot of people talk about this movie all the time, but at least from my point of view, I don't really see that many people talking about this film. When you're talking about a horror movie, I don't ever see this movie come up as much. I mean, it does, but it's extremely rare because you obviously have those popular horror movies that a lot of people know, like Chucky, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw, Scream, movies like that people can talk about for hours. Halloween, I almost forgot to mention that. Oh my god, how did I almost forget to mention that? The movie that I'm referring to is Sleepaway Camp, and I don't remember when I saw this movie. Like, if I had to take a guess, I would have to say like 3 or 4 years ago. It's definitely been quite some time since I've seen this film, and I remember I was stumbling across a video because I always like looking up those videos where it gives you those recommendations of like underrated horror films that you might have not heard of, and I heard of Sleepaway Camp. And the reason why I got interested in it at first, that I was alluding to earlier of it possibly reminding you of another film, is Friday the 13th, because if you look at how Friday the 13th was structured, you got a boy named Jason. He went to Camp Crystal Lake at a summer camp. He got harassed because the way he looked. He ended up drowning. His mother wanted to take vengeance from that. So looking at how I described Friday the 13th right there, that's why I gave it a quick little rundown. It's kind of like how Sleepaway Camp was, because you have Sleepaway Camp start where there is a father with his son and daughter just in the lake. Like, if you guys go on vacation and you're like just swimming in the lake, having fun, family vacation, whatever the case may be, whatever you're doing around that time. He was just chilling with his kids, and then there was a guy and a girl in a boat, but the boy and the girl weren't really paying attention, so then they end up running over one of the kids. You look at what happened with the girl Angela that you saw go to the summer camp, and she was with her aunt in the beginning of the movie. She was getting harassed there. That's why I was comparing it to Jason. She was getting harassed there because of how quiet she was and just who she was as an individual, which is why one of the sayings that they say is you got to be careful for the ones that are quiet, because you never know when they're going to strike. You never know when you approach them what you're going to do. It's just a typical thing that you probably heard out there one day, if it was from somebody you know or you read it up online. You just got to be careful of the quiet ones, and you just see what she does with that entire film. This movie is also known to have one of the best plot twists when it comes to like a horror film, especially around that time, because it was very unexpected. But I definitely feel like this movie should be talked about a lot more, because there's a lot of like horror movies, especially around the 80s, because 80s was around the time where horror movies were thriving, especially when it came to slashers. It's just one of those movies within the 80s that, like I was alluding to before, where you probably heard of, but you never really paid that much attention to, because a lot of people around the 80s, oh look, another Friday the 13th movie coming out. Oh look, Nightmare on Elm Street, another Texas Chainsaw. Oh look, around the late 80s, around 1988, we got a movie called Child's Play coming out, where there's a killer doll on the loose. I want to watch this movie. I want to see what it's talked about. There was just a lot of other movies that like popped out in front of you that you probably paid a lot more attention to because you knew of what it was before. Halloween, movies along that era that a lot of people just had more eyes on, and this is just one of those hidden gems within the 1980s where you're like, oh, how did I miss this? Like, this was actually a pretty good film. And I personally enjoyed that franchise, Sleepaway Camp, because it was just nice to see another movie out there that might have not has been as popular as a Friday the 13th, a Halloween, or a Nightmare on Elm Street, but still deliver that message that it was trying to get across, that still sent shivers down your spines. Yes, it might have been like a cheesy horror film back then, all those years ago, but that's the thing about the 1980s. You run into a lot of like cheesy movies, but at the same time, they're considered classics because of that era, and you tend to overlook that, and you don't really tend to spend that much time looking at it like that, because it was just a different era back then, and you weren't really as critical about every single thing that you saw. Like, you just enjoyed it for what it was. You had fun, and you had a good time. And I can honestly only imagine how it was watching this film in the movie theaters, because there is like various scenes throughout this film, especially I'm not gonna get into it. My mind wants me to talk about it, but I'm not. But it's just unexpected stuff that happens where you're like, holy shit, like this happened. This happened. So you guys definitely need to check out Sleepaway Camp. Like, I hope that I was able to deliver the message as best as I possibly could. I didn't want to get into spoiler territory. That's why I gave a little quick synopsis of who Angela was, what happened between the beginning of the movie, and when she went to the summer camp, which, you know, gave me vibes of how whenever every Friday the 13th movie was always set at Camp Crystal Lake, and then you had all these different consoles there. I thought, if I brought that up because there's a lot of people out there that like Friday the 13th, so I guess Friday the 13th fans who happen to stumble across this video, check this one out, see how you like it. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments, because this movie right here, I am honestly glad that I took the time to actually sit down, do a little bit of research online, and to see what this was. And the woman who portrayed Angela Baker all those years ago, which was Felissa Rose, I applaud her for her work. She did a tremendous job. And I honestly can't wait to see if I have the opportunity to meet her one day. Because the reason why I bring that up in a lot of my videos of why I want to meet these actors or actresses one day is because I love their portrayal as the characters that they had in the movie. So I would love the opportunity to meet them and talk about their work and just tell them how much I loved what they did. And it would be pretty nice to meet her at like a horror convention, which I'm hoping and praying that one of the guest lists this year at the horror convention that I'm going to, Felissa Rose, is actually listed there, because I would love to meet her. Like, that would be an honor to meet her, because she seems like a really cool individual. I've seen clips of her online. She's very wholesome, so it would be really dope to eventually meet her in person. But other than that, if you guys have any other things you want to say about Sleepaway Camp, like if you guys actually happen to check out this movie before, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Really curious to see how you guys feel about this film overall, and if I was able to deliver the message to persuade you a little bit, possibly to check out this film. Make sure to let me know how you thought about it after you're done watching this video. But as always, one of the things to know whenever you stumble across a YouTube video, make sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. As of now, as of this recording, we are currently at 21 subscribers on this channel. So again, and I'm going to keep saying it with every single video that I do, I appreciate all the support. I love how you guys are coming on here, leaving a couple comments, interacting with me. It's just a really nice experience just talking to you guys. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of me. It would be awesome, because yes, this is a small channel, but it's going to be fun growing this channel throughout the year and the year after that. It's just going to be a fun journey, and I'm more than glad to go on it with you guys. And make sure to hit that notification bell, because I realize the YouTube system's a little funny, so I might not let you know when I upload a video right away. So make sure to do that. Click on that bell, you know, that bell right there down below. And also, if I'm not posting a YouTube video on here randomly one day for whatever reason, because we've been pretty consistent with these daily uploads, make sure to follow me on my social media. I got myself a Twitter and Instagram. They're located on there, so make sure to follow me on there so you guys can see what I'm doing outside of the YouTube space. And I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever you guys are, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.